All right, thanks, Ken. Great way to start off the season. Really appreciate all the fans and students that came out tonight. Love the unselfishness and the effort our guys played with. And like I said, good way to start things off. I thought shot selection was really good. Had 7 turnovers in the first half, a lot of unforced errors, and I think we went about 12 minutes there in the second half without a turnover. So I was excited to see that improvement. I think defensively, we were able to be disruptive with the press and some of the defensive concepts. Disappointed in our defensive rebounding, too many offensive rebounds allowed, and that'll be an area we'll work in practice as we start preparing for Nicholls State on Friday night. So excited to go 1-0, and look forward to getting to play in the PMAC again Friday night at 7.
All right, question, Sheldon. Matt, you got the early lead, then they cut it to 10. You called timeout real quick, and then they brought on a big run. Did you just have to settle them down a little bit? And I'm sure defense, you weren't happy with the defense at that point.
Yeah, I thought we just lost focus there for whatever reason. Sheldon took a couple questionable shots that put us at a disadvantage in transition defense. Missed a couple defensive assignments that led to that little 7-0 run, and wanted to use our time out there to get us locked back into what needed to happen on the floor. And then also they had switched at that point from their zone defense to the man-to-man and wanted to really establish Will Baker in the post, and thought the guys did a great job at executing out of that timeout, and got Will a lot of easy touches down there in the post where they were playing him one-on-one.
Yeah, I was going to mention with Will tonight. Do you guys plan on sort of using him as sort of as that focal point inside the same way you guys used KJ, in that he can spread out the floor, but he can also dominate the post like he did tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm not big on comparing players, but I know certainly with the loss of KJ, we wanted to identify an experienced front court player who was not only skilled and effective down in the post, but could step out and shoot the ball in the perimeter. And I thought you saw all of that from Will tonight. He's also a really good passer out of the post, so we wanted to get him established. And one thing that he did a little more of tonight that hadn't seen a ton of, I thought his shot fake on the perimeter and our spacing was good. He was able to get downhill to the rim and have a couple really nice finishes there.
Hey, Coach, what do you find that Damian Collins brings in certain lineups, especially kind of on the offensive side?
Well, I think versatility. He can guard multiple positions on the floor. He's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime athlete to get to coach a guy with his length and verticality that he can play the game with. I've said all fall, his skill level is a little bit further along than I was expecting. I think you saw him knock down a corner 3. He's got really nice touch around the basket. He just really hadn't played a lot the last couple of years. And so I think the more experience, the more confidence he's going to gain. But we're really excited about it.
Yeah, and with what was that?
Come back to you.
And with Mike Williams, what do you like seeing from him, and why do you sort of like him as a starting point guard for you guys?
Yeah, he's brought stability to us. He's a leader. I know he didn't shoot the ball as well as he would have liked tonight, struggled with some cramping issues there. But I think he's just been really solid at the front of our defense. He's not a guy that commands high volume number of shots. He likes to get the ball where it needs to go. And I think you certainly saw some of the freshman jitters from him tonight, but I think the more time and more practice he gets, you'll see him continue to grow and develop as the season goes along.
I hate to belabor this point, but is this just kind of how it's going to be, for you guys in terms of just creating offense and just, something that works? You guys are just going to have to really lean into it in a game-to-game basis. Do you think it's going to be kind of a collective effort? If something's working, you guys are going to have to lean into that without obviously having somebody like Jaylen to kind of run things offensively?
Yeah, I think so. I love our personnel. I think we've got depth at every position. I think we have multiple threats that can score, multiple positions that can really stretch the floor from a three-point shooting standpoint. What you might not see from us is, the days where it's just spread ball screen for 40 minutes and a traditional point guard that's just dribbling the air out of the ball. But I think ball movement's going to be important for us. But I like our personnel. I think we have multiple weapons that could score from different areas on the floor.
Do you think the shooting tonight was maybe the best thing you did tonight, and then also, why didn't Corey Chess play?
Yeah, the first part, I thought we did shoot the ball well from three again. I really like our balance of guys that can shoot the ball from three at multiple positions. I think it allows you to space the floor better. And then if you play with great unselfishness, it leads to high quality looks. And I thought we got some of those tonight, both against their zone and against their man-to-man. So, I was pleased with that. But I thought for the first 32 minutes or so that the defensive effort and disruption was probably one of my biggest takeaways. As for Corey Chest, he's been terrific. Just wanted to give him a couple days to have an opportunity to decide if he wanted to pursue a redshirt opportunity this year. So he's been terrific in practice. I'm incredibly excited about his future at LSU. He's going to be a really good player for us, whether that's this year or next year. But I wanted to give him some time to make a decision there as we move forward.
With Tyrell, really efficient scoring off the bench in terms of just the first half looks that he got. Does he look more comfortable to you? He looks like he's kind of taking that jump that you were hoping that he would take.
Yeah, I've been really pleased with him. I think that was a tough year. I know, Glenn, you and I have talked about that a lot. Last year was the oldest year in college basketball history, and it was a tough transition for a lot of freshmen across the country. And, I think especially throwing him in with just, a random group of teammates. Now he's had a true off season. He's gone through the player development program all spring, summer, and fall. He had the trip to the Bahamas where he was our leading scorer along with Jordan Wright. So I just want him to keep getting better. He's really shooting the ball at a high clip. His movement without the ball is really good. And he doesn't, because he's 6'7", he doesn't need much time or space to get a shot off. And so I just want him to continue to get more and more consistent, but he's been very efficient scoring the ball for us.
Hey, Coach, you talked a bit about Jaylen and just kind of his unique ability in terms of what he can do off the dribble. So can you just kind of talk a little bit about that and what kind of situations you guys try to get him in? Obviously, he's been working a bit as a hub in the high post and getting the ball out of his hand, the transition, just what do you guys like to do with him?
Yeah, I thought against the zone tonight, he was able to really spray the ball around from the high post area, as you mentioned. One thing that I've really liked about his game as he's gotten stronger this offseason is his defensive rebounding. He's really improved there, and we're very confident when he does defensive rebound for him to attack and transition and lead the break because he's a very willing and selfless passer there. I think you saw him get Carlos Stewart an open corner three in transition tonight. So I just love his versatility and his ability to impact the game in multiple ways.
Hey Coach, can you just break down the non-conference schedule moving forward and how you guys are preparing for that?
Yeah, well, it goes to Friday night. Nicholls State will come in here Friday at 7. I think Coach Sadler did a great job constructing his roster with some talented transfers. I'm not sure how they fared tonight. I know they were at Tulane. And then next week you go to the Charleston Classic, which has a terrific field. And it will really be tested there as well. And then I guess the other ones that really stand out, I'm thankful for all the opportunities, but as far as those quad 1, quad 2 type games, you look at going to the Carrier Dome to play at Syracuse, Kansas State playing here in the PMAC on December 9th off their Elite 8 team. And then I really like the game against another Elite 8 team in Texas that will play in the Houston Rockets Arena that December 16th. So I think we have a good balance of home games and a good balance of quad 1 opportunities against really good teams here in the non-conference.
All right, I got to get in